Hey y'all, my name is Kevin Bull Jr. and I'm a live and studio bass player from Woodbridge, Virginia, although I'm currently living in Nashville, Tennessee. I post videos about bass tips, tricks, and covers. If that's something you're into, consider subscribing. We're gonna have a lot of fun. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the different types of tunings for bass guitar, specifically standard tunings and drop tunings. So for standard tuning, all that means is that each note in that tuning is a fourth apart. So something like E standard, it's the most common tuning and probably the one that all of us, learn to play bass on. The strings go E, A, D, G. So E is a fourth away from A is a fourth away from D, and D is a fourth away from G. Standard tunings are great because if you're first learning scales or the pentatonic scale, major scales, minor scales, those can easily be applied to different parts of the neck with the same fingering. And then for drop tunings, all that is taking any given standard tuning and dropping the lowest string, the lowest pitch, down a whole step. So we're gonna take, for example, let's just do E standard. So if I drop the low E string to a D, we are now in what is commonly referred to as drop D tuning. And this applies to any standard tuning. So if we take D sharp standard, so we have D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, if you drop the low D sharp to a C sharp, we are now in drop C sharp tuning. So this is the fun part. I'm gonna play some of my favorite bass lines that use a few of these different tunings. Some of them will be standard, some of them will be drop. Check it out. So the question is, why would you want to change the tuning of your bass? And first off, any change that you make to your instrument, whether it be the bridge, pickups, the strings themselves, can drastically change the way your bass plays and feels. And on top of that, you now have a new collection of notes to mess around with and inspire new ideas. Another big reason why you may want to consider changing tunings is that if you're in a band with a vocalist, or you are the vocalist and the key of the song is a little bit out of your range, you can easily just tune down the instruments in the band, drop it down a half a step, a whole step, however it works for you guys. And it can be just that easy to make sure the vocal is staying in a nice pocket, it's in a good range for them. And I had to do this with my band back in Virginia because the songs that we were doing were all recorded in E standard, and I can sing them just fine, but when you add on playing the bass and singing and you want to interact with the crowd, and I always like move around on stage, I got kind of tired. So to remedy that, I said, all right guys, we're gonna have to drop this thing a whole step. So instead of playing in E standard and drop D, we would play in D standard and drop C. And that allowed a lot more headroom for my voice to go, to leave room for me running around stage or interacting with Caedmon or Brock or Mickey or interacting with the crowd. And it just made for a much better performance, and I didn't feel super burnt out after the show. All right, y'all, thanks a ton for watching. I really hope this helped you guys out. Try to figure out different tunings on the bass. It's really fun. I 100% recommend it. If you have any questions about anything I said in the video, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And stay tuned for next week for a brand new cover. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.